THC. You all know that Minnesota recently legalized recreational marijuana. But if a new public alert from the Department of Health is any indication, there's still a lot of confusion about what you are legally allowed to buy in stores right now. Beyond a few dispensaries operated by Minnesota tribes, you still just can't walk into a store and buy marijuana in our state. And that means there's still a huge market for hemp-derived THC products like gummies and those seltzer drinks. But when the Department of Health started inspecting retailers who sell those products, they found that many are offering products that aren't supposed to be sold in Minnesota. And now they're actually warning the public because some of those products have a lot more THC than the state is allowing. So Kent, let's start there. What are the limits supposed to be right now?
Yeah, that's where we should start, Janet, because it can get confusing when you start looking at what's on the shelves. When the legislature legalized marijuana this year, they made it clear that hemp-based products should be limited to 5 milligrams of THC per serving. That translates to 50 milligrams per package of edibles and 10 milligrams per can of THC drinks. But again, that's not exactly what they're finding at a lot of shops right now.
We have mints now, yeah.
Ever since opening its doors in September, CannaJoy MN has been dispensing marijuana seeds, hemp-derived THC products.
I'll put your receipt in the bag here for you.
And plenty of advice.
Start low and go slow. It's important for everybody, and we can help along the way with some of those questions or concerns. I like to say we can meet people where they're at on their seed and weed journey.
Unless that journey goes beyond the bounds of Minnesota regulations.
Some people will say, oh, do you have anything over the 50 milligram? Or I had this one time where it was like 1,000, and we're like, well, you might have to get that somewhere else then, because we don't have that.
But plenty of others appear to. According to MDH, of the 200 retail inspections conducted so far, nearly 40% of retailers were selling at least some products that far exceed state regulations.
Hundreds of milligrams per serving and thousands of milligrams per package. At those very high doses, there have been reports of people who have had adverse health impacts like high anxiety and panic attacks, racing heart rate, delusions. And so we do have a fair bit of concern about those high-risk products.
MDH is now working to double its compliance staff from 5 to 10 inspectors by January, with the goal of reaching all 3,000 registered retailers of hemp-derived THC within a couple of months.
We are issuing correction orders on the first visit if there's violations, and if we do find those high-risk products, we're having those destroyed on site. We try to give them the benefit of the doubt the first time, and if they comply after that, then all is well.
It is slightly confusing, especially when you're dealing with out-of-state product and out-of-state producers that may not know Minnesota's rules and compliance.
Despite lawsuits filed against a handful of Minnesota producers of high-risk products a year ago, MDH is finding most of the locally made stuff is in compliance with dosing limits and labeling, which is why that's all they carry at CannaJoy.
Each of the cans and other products should have, at a minimum, a QR code to be able to go and look at the certificate of analysis that their product has been tested and is approved.
Have you been visited yet?
We haven't. We've been practicing though. We're hoping to have a perfect visit the time that they do come. I think those that take it seriously should do well, and I hope we could do better as a state.
Now, speaking of that, because MDH still has so much ground to cover, they also want the public to know that if you see products that far exceed these levels of THC, you can file a complaint online and they will investigate it. Look for this story on KARE11.com for that information.